you know, normally you're watching the tracking of who's advancing. Yeah. It's going to get more intense every round of the tournament. But to stop like this and then have GSL vs. World and then to come back to this feels totally wonky.
Yeah, it's like GSL Code S is a donut, and then GSL vs. World is like a Munchkin donut that you put in the middle.
Yeah, donut hole.
Yeah, and then, I mean, a donut with a donut hole in its hole is not even a donut anymore. That's just like a cake.
Yeah, that is basically a cake. You're correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get everything into the red here.
Oh, my God. Oh, he gets it. Looked like it died midair.
Oh!
Oh, and then it gets out.
Come at me, bro.
Solar, you are dead. Get out of the game.
He's
it's
angry.
Over. He's angry.
He wants to win so badly.
Dude, if he advances, then maybe we get another Maru victory and everything goes back to normal. Season 2 was just the really weird one.
Yeah.
A Zerg won. There was all sorts of upsets, including a Zerg winning a GSL.
Yeah, we're not supposed to have Zerg win GSL.
No.
We're supposed to talk about them almost winning. But
they're perfect runner-ups.
yes.
You know?
So many second places.
Nice overload speed on the way.
Yeah, he's going to do a little bit of scouting here. We also have a Viking coming out here to shoo overlords away, so that Terran can continue to try to disguise what their true intentions are. A lot more drones being made, or were made, I should say. Now we got some links coming up here.
I wonder what a Supreme light game would look like here, because the center doesn't have anything worth fighting over.
Yeah, where would you ever want to fight with Broodlords over here?
Yeah, it's so compartmentalized. Wow, that's what I want to say. That I feel like that would look very weird.
This is one of those ink blot maps. You know,
it's like you put an ink blot and then fold your paper up.
Yeah,
to make a snowflake.
And then I'm like, it looks like my dad hitting me. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, you know, no, actually, that's a really important point that you made, Artosis. This map is clearly easily split in half. Like, there's not going to be a moment where it's like, well, maybe the Zerg gets the top right. Who knows?
That's
so,
true.
Yeah, if you go to a really, really late game, it's like, well, what do you even want to do here?
What's this Baneling nest all about? Do you think he wants Banelings? Or do you think he thought this might be a Hell Battle in? Because it definitely doesn't look like Hell Battle in at this point.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely ready to defend. So Stim's coming along now. We are going to see Bio play for Maru. Maru, he did okay until the pushes started against Solar in Game 3. But after a little bit, I mean, Solar just sort of smashed him down everywhere. By the way, the Hellions are really softening up these Queens. Keep in mind, with Stim finishing up pretty soon here, we're going to have the rest of the army coming out on the map. So some pretty bruised Queens.
Well, I mean, it seems like there's not going to be a lot of anything going on. Like, especially I see those 2 eBays, right? Generally, when you see 2 eBays like that, it means that we're going to see a 2-2 timing push on max supply. You know? It's like, yeah, you'll have little things like what we're watching here. But
actually, you're correct. Yeah. No, I totally will.
It's hard to imagine.
Take back what I said. With exactly what he's got here.
Well, looks like Solar just going to get his upgrades flowing. Of course, it's really quick Baneling speed. So he'll probably stay on this Ling Bane style for quite some time. Of course, last time we saw him go for that style was Game 3 against Maru, where Maru just endlessly attacked. But again, this build order doesn't look like that. This looks like a much more macro-intensive build. If you had 1 eBay, everything would be timed forward a little bit. You'd keep your pressure on. Whereas here is likely going to go to 2-2, which means that we should also see Solar make it up to Hive Tech. And I really want to... Well, I shouldn't have jumped the gun too much, but I was going to say I want to see, likely, based on what we're seeing this game, Ultras.
We have had some Ultras before here in ZVT.
Yeah,
it's funny though, because especially on huge maps, you know, you'll see the Ultras come out and then they start to win the fight, and then all the Lings are gone, and then the Ultras try to run away and they die to Stim units.
Yeah,
that's kind of what happens with Ultras is they have a hard time. You wouldn't think they would, since they don't have to like siege up or anything like that to fight.
Well, you know what I think of Ultras as is they are defensive units.
Yeah.
I really don't see them as attacking units.
Well, they just have so much bulk on them. They can sustain for so much longer. Now, here we are. Once again, Maru is sieging up. as the army is surrounding his tanks. Now, this is how he died in Game 3. And it's really weird to see him reflexively sieging.
Yeah, he tried to take the center, but the creep was so close that Solar just jumped on him so quickly there. Maru's still trying to walk around, seeing if he can get something done.
This is going to be a crazy milestone here, by the way, for Solar if he ends up knocking Maru out of GSL. They get 2 best of 3s.
It'd be a big deal.
Oh, he's going to try to push back. Can he defend this? It's solo.
Oh, I don't know. I think he's going to lose it.
I think Solar might just not want to overcommit here. Yeah, Maru's going to get this. He was patient.
I think Solar might have... Oh, the engagement. So good.
Maru diving on, though. A few more links coming out. Oh, my God. That was so good.
What a clutch hold that was. Seriously. Wow. Okay, so Drilling Claw is on the way, so Maru going to get into very heavy anti-Ling Bane. We'll see if that works out for him. It's a very long push distance, and there is a lot of creep for Solar right now. And Solar, yeah, he already threw up a macro after in his main, too, so it looks like his production is really on point.
Okay, he's going to try to come in one more time, though. But we've all been in these positions, right, where you just got that one base, it's so low, you want to kill it so badly, and then you overextend. The creep continues to fan out on the map. A lot of banelings out. It doesn't appear that there's any easy way to kill off that base, and so Maru's probably going to have to accept that moral loss there.
Well, do you switch it up now and start pushing through this endless creep to get to one of the other bases?
Well, this is one of the problems, is that he's almost neglected the left side of the map, trying to push down over on the right side so much that there's plenty of creep pushed out here.
Yeah. Oh, this makes it very tough. And you know what? He was very late on starting his 2-2. His armory was a little bit late, I noticed, but he actually didn't start it until just very recently. So Solar has actually passed him on the upgrades. His 2-2 is going to be done first, which means he's never going to be fighting at an upgrade disadvantage. Which, when you're playing Ling Bane against Marines, that's like something that Terran's really looking for.
Yeah. Now the creep gets further and further out here. The Widow Mines are going to be cleaned up. Already 48 Marines were killed off in this game. My God.
Yeah. Now, Solar's doing a pretty good job, I think. But, you know, there's a lot of mines being made.
The distance between the upper left, which is where the Terran production is, all the Terran infrastructure, and the base is now being taken in the bottom right. I don't think Maru's ever going to be able to push in there.
Yeah.
I don't think Maru's paying attention. Beautifully done. Almost taking out more of those, but I guess you can force him to waste some medevac energy on that. And this is what we would call the Zerg getting out of hand here. It's like you've now allowed the Zerg to get to grow and thrive so much on the map, and I think this is a structural issue with this map. I'm not knocking on the map, but I mean in this matchup, in this situation, I don't really see how Terran can win this unless Terran tries to push now into the bottom left main.
Yeah, and that seems...
I think that's just... Sometimes
you're looking for mistakes from your opponent at that point, really. But yeah, when you get your creep out like this and you've got really great upgraded Ling Bane, how hard is that to push in? It's ridiculously hard. Great defense, and there is that Ultralisk Cavern. I'm really happy to see that play from Solar. You can see why he's 7,000 MMR. It's just great because what Maru's doing right now, this very kind of like heavy marine medevac type of composition, it's already having a hard time on creep, but if you have Ultralisk tech, you have Ultras on that creep as well, Ling Bane Ultra on creep just will eradicate armies. Yeah. It will kill them so quickly, and that it kind of gives you that bit of extra muscle so that you can transition into what you actually might want, like let's say Broodlord Infestor later on, possibly. The map is so big, though, I could see trying to skip over that and just utilize the giant economy that you have as Solar here.
Yeah, well, I think now the problem is that Maru is going to have to figure out how to end this game, because just the way that Solar behaved in Game 1 and pulled through with a win, I think that Solar has no reason to not try to do something similar in Game 2. I guess you could end up with the Zerg mining out a little bit too much here, and then Terran slow crawls and takes the upper right side of the map, but I'm really not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Nidus play, beautifully done.
Yeah, let's see what he can actually get done here. I like how there's drones in there for some reason.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
He might Nidus to an island or something, too. That could be kind of a cool thing if he has time.
Yeah, I mean, there are these little locations on this map at 12 and at 6. So we have a small army down here for Terran that is going to target down some of these hatches. Not bad. He does eliminate that.
Hey, some damage in the main base. I like it.
Yeah, these units are Terran's starting to win fights everywhere. I guess it was also worth pointing out that even if the entire map is connected by creep, there's no way for you to actually stop. Well, there's no way to have your whole army everywhere at once. It's just such a huge map. This is our biggest map, right? It has to be.
Yeah, you know what? I'm quite sure it is, actually, thinking about it.
I honestly tend to forget about it. I get to cast
Thunderbird
it
and Acropolis are both quite big maps, but this feels much bigger to me.
The four corners are filled up with more landmass, though. You can actually have what matters further away. Nice kill on that hatch.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that bottom right side of the map took a beating, man. Now Terran's going to try to push across again. Maybe Mara will do the impossible.
That's a possibility, but now that we have some beefier units that are going to be popping out like these Ultras, I think that's going to help him to clear out armies like this. Obviously, you've got to deal with those mines. Those have been really, really strong for Mario the last few times. Notice that Ultra definitely helping, forcing the pickup. Interesting, he was a little bit late on starting his 3-3 here, Solar, and he never started +3 melee, but he is a little bit long gas, so I get it. The carapace definitely more important when you're going for Ultras. Spire is coming up. Can continue his tech upwards. We see a Viper being made. Ooh, I like it.
Now we have the island being taken. Now, keep in mind with Medivacs, unless you can be really sneaky with a Nidus, I don't know if you're ever going to be able to take that back from Terran.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to morph so many drops, or I guess if you do get into Broodlords later on, that could do it, obviously. Ghost coming up right now. That creep spread just continues forward, man. Look at these bases from Solar. It's just so scary. How do you attack in there?
Yeah, I don't think you can. This map really, in this matchup, just seems like it's really hard for one side to kill the other.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, how far are you going to travel when your reinforcement's that far out? I wonder how easy it's going to be for Terran to actually take the upper right quadrant.
Hard, I think.
Yeah.
It might be one of these really weird situations where he has to kind of rotate everything, and the left side becomes easier to kill.
Zerg's interested in opening up that side of the map up there.
Oh, look at this. Okay, so Solar is actually just getting +1 air attack. So I think what we're going to be seeing here is him just adding Corruptors to be able to deal more easily with the Medivacs.
And the island. If he kills the Medivacs, he can then go spray down the island, too.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. And obviously, Liberators, you need that for. That's one way that we saw Dark lose a lot of game with Ultras. Is he just didn't have anything for anti-Liberator. Got to get that Spire up. Ridiculously strong economies on both sides. I'd really like to see a couple more Vipers in here as well. I think Parasitic Bomb is so powerful in these situations.
Solar is not actually scouted 12 o'clock.
It's a great place to drop mules, I tell you.
Yeah, well, no kidding. I mean, just suck up all the resources there.
Yeah.
Okay, another big attack coming in here. Terran's got quite the spread, though. I mean, that's just so hard to come in and get.
Especially with these types of armies. Like, we've seen before people break through these with mass Banelings, but it can be a bit cost inefficient. The Ultras just die to Liberators in these situations.
I think this island went a little bit neglected. I feel like once you start to get Niduses over here, it's very hard to ever stop this. So this is probably just going to be a lost base. Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to drop everything over there.
Yeah. I think he might just lose it, but he has another command center there, so.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take these SCVs out.
I love that the SCVs are trying to dodge Banelings so they can repair through the Ultra.
Yeah. Well, Planetaries are pretty crazy when it comes to sustain, but it doesn't seem like Terran has the ability to devote any attention to that location. So that's been taken out. Now we have Banelings that are coming across the map. Oh, here we are. We're at that part of the game where they're nuke go on.
He did lose that island base, by the way. Ooh, that's...
Oh, he gets it. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, these are such hard areas to attack into, but you know what? If he brings enough units, the Corruptors can start to pick off the air units. And that's where he starts to get some real value in here. Look at that. Kills a lot of those medevacs. Or he's trying to take some of these other bases. That's going to be difficult, though.
Well, I think there's a whole other ground game here for Zerg, which is to try to delay these bases in the upper right quadrant. Keep in mind that on the other maps that we saw these guys, like where they were playing on, I think it was King's Cove, you know, Terran actually gets a lot of bases because they're closer. These ones really are a far reach away.
Yeah. The travel time for Terran is just not that fast on these big maps.
Yeah.
Like, boost is good, and you can skip some terrain. But it's not like Zerg running around on creep with the fastest units in the game.
But boost is good tactically a lot of times. It's not actually good for commuting.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like faster, but not for that.
Yeah. And, you know, this is kind of insanely ambitious of Maru. He's trying to simply control the center of the board like it's a chess game with his Liberators and Ghosts and everything else over there. But it seems to me like with all the harass going on in the upper right, it's a matter of time before the middle of the map crumbles, right?
Well, he's got to stay super efficient. And if Solar stays on Ultra, like I think Ultra was a great kind of thing to stabilize the game for Solar for a bit, but I really want to see him be careful with that because these snipes that we're seeing from Maru are massacring him.
He's really producing a lot of Zerglings here. He just needs to get the right unit composition to engage this, and I think the middle is going to be lost. And from there, it's very easy to circulate an army up north.
And the efficiency that Maru is showing, though, like
his control is perfect.
The liberation zones plus mines plus ghosts, that combination is so strong that he just micros back the rest of his units. You run under those liberation zones, and the mines kill you. So
is he going to try to surround this now? What am I seeing here? What is this? Oh, I guess he wants to try to just come up here. I feel like Solar's getting just a little bit too spread out.
He is definitely spread out pretty far right now. Looks like he wants to take out that planetary, which he definitely will. That won't be any issue.
And it's actually worth it in this case to just use your gas to blow up the planetaries.
I think so.
Because Terran is going to mine out on 4 bases pretty fast. Oh, what? He almost killed his own.
Oh, the planetary.
Yeah.
All right, so he does take that out.
Again, this army, it gets so far, but eventually I think it does get swallowed up by Solar here, the Zerg army. I guess everything that Maru has is actually slow pushing down towards this part of the map.
Yeah, look at this. Okay, well, the Corruptors are killing a lot of this air here. The Banelings being really inefficient.
The problem is there's still always a small squad of ground units here. All of the gas that Solar has is just going directly into Banelings. He's like never even able to stock up any because he's so focused on just getting gas out here. It's like there's just enough Marines as well to shoo away the Corruptors.
Maru's playing a wonderful game here.
Yeah, he really is.
He is abusing this unit.
If he can actually take out this bottom right, man, he will win this game. I mean, I feel like it's such a long shot, but look, I mean, he's still got the army here.
A lot of his air is going to finally fall, but he's losing the Corruptors as well. It seems like that might be it.
GG.
Wow, what a strong victory.
That was
really good one.
So impressive.
Yeah.
Maru just did the impossible, guys.